everyone, welcome back to another video. We've got an exciting packed episode today. We'll be starting off with a brief GW36 team review. We then will be looking at the remaining fixtures for this season. We will be covering the GW36 to GW38 top player targets. Our main feature for today will be the GW36 to GW38 team plans. We don't only have one but four possible plan options. We'll be wrapping up with the GW36 team. Before we start, please remember to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. We will really appreciate it. To warm you up, we've got an FPL Trivia question. Today's FPL Trivia question is as follows. Which player has played the most minutes from game week 1 until game week 35? The three options are option A, David De Gea from Manchester United, Harry Kane from Tottenham Hotspur, or Max Kilman from Wolves. Please stay tuned, the answer will be revealed at the end of this video. We carry on with the Game Week 35 team review. As you can see, Game Week 35 had relatively low scores with a lot of premium players not performing and blanking. The only players that had anything of note in terms of FPL points was Trent Alexander-Arnold with 7 points and Mo Salah with 10 points. Overall, our team managed 36 points, which is quite a low score, but considering that this was a very low game scoring week with the average only being 39 points. So if there was a week to get a low score, then this was the week. Our rank is still currently around 35,000 out of more than 11.3 million FPL managers in the world. This is now the business end of the season, Game Week 36, Game Week 37 especially being double game weeks, so time to make those moves and rise up the ranks. So please remember to follow us and subscribe for more green arrow moves. This is the current FPLA Super League standings. In first place, we've got Arnav Garg holding on by a thread with 3 points. Very well done, Arnav. In second place, narrowly, we've got Supramaniam. Well done, Supramaniam. In third place, we've got Piyush Singla. Fourth place goes to yours truly, jointly together with Jamie Duncan. Sixth place, we've got Pedro Azevedo. Seventh place, we've got Dennis Kuswanda. In 8th place, we've got Ulrich Williams. 9th place goes to Levi Orenser. And in joint 10th place, we've got Shazad Ahmed and Kritan Motamari. Everyone that has made the FPLA Super League top 10, very well done to you. Those that are not yet there, but that are lurking and close by, keep on pushing and you will hopefully be there soon. This is just a reminder of the remaining fixture schedule for the rest of the season. There's only 3 game weeks left, so there's very limited opportunities in order to score massive points. However, the good thing is there are 2 small double game weeks, being Game Week 36 and Game Week 37. If you're looking at the team circled in red, which is Brighton, they are the only team with 2 double game weeks left, and then the 4 teams circled in green have got 1 double game week left, and that is Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United and Newcastle. So feel free to target these teams for players for any of your transfers, as that is possibly where the points are going to lie. However, don't forget about some of the good matchups for single game week teams such as Arsenal, Aston Villa, Brentford, Tottenham Hotspur, as well as Liverpool. Some Game Week 36 fixtures that you can target. If you're looking at the red circle players or teams, these are all the teams that have got a double game week in Game Week 36, and that is Newcastle, Manchester City, Brighton, as well as Liverpool, that does not have a double game week but on paper has got a reasonably easy fixture against Leicester that are struggling defensively. And then if you're looking for other top players from other top teams that you could also target, that would include the likes of Aston Villa, Manchester United, Brentford and Arsenal. If you're looking for some differential players, then the teams that I would recommend that you target could be Crystal Palace or Tottenham Hotspur. These are the current Game Week 36 to Game Week 38 top player targets. The first player that we've got is McAllister from Brighton, with Solly March potentially not being fit for a match or a couple of matches in the season. McAllister could be a very good player in terms of trying to get a player from a double game week team. So if you don't have McAllister at only 5.5 million, he's a budget option. Plays Arsenal and Newcastle next, which could be a bit of a tough one. However, McAllister has come off from winning the World Cup. His confidence is high. He's potentially looking at moving to another team in the upcoming season. So he definitely, from a confidence perspective, will want to put out the good performances, and he's on penalties. After that, he's got Southampton and Manchester City in the second double, followed by Aston Villa. Then you've got a Manchester United player in Bruno Fernandes, who's made an unbelievable amount of chances. And if you're looking at a premium player for the upcoming double game week, then he's definitely somebody that you could bring in. He's also got good fixtures around the double in Game Week 37. Before Game Week 36 he's got Wolves, and then after he's got Fulham. Both of those fixtures are at home. Then we've got a team that's got a double in Game Week 36, and that is Newcastle. Who else but the attacking duo of Isaac and Wilson. If you're looking for the spicy differential, then a team such as Crystal Palace and any of their midfielders, but the one that we have actually earmarked potentially, who is always involved, is Wilfried Zaha. His fixtures on paper look very enticing. It includes Bournemouth, Fulham and Nottingham Forest, with two of the three being at home. Next follows the Game Week 36 to Game Week 38 team plan. We have got 4 plans. On screen we have got 2 plans out of the 4 plans that we are considering for Game Week 36 to Game Week 38. Firstly, we'll be comparing the 2 common plans with a common strategy, that is Plan 1 and Plan 2. This plan mainly includes having 2 Newcastle attackers, being Isak and Wilson. In order to get to the team on the left hand side, which is Plan 1, the transfers are, we've currently got Watkins, and in order to bring in the remaining Newcastle striker Wilson, we would need to downgrade a Newcastle defender. We've currently got Trippier and Botman. We will be keeping Trippier, so we'll be downgrading Botman to Patterson, who seems to be nailed on currently, with Seamus Coleman that I believe is out for the rest of the season. That would have been the standard move that we would have made in both these teams. However, with the possible injury to Solly March, who suffered a hamstring injury during the course of the Game Week 35 match against Everton, if he is not available and fit, then the possible move that we could do is go sideways, which we normally wouldn't do, especially for a -4. However, in this particular case, if we do the move from Solly March to McAllister, that could be in order to gain 2 double game weeks, and that could potentially pay itself. As mentioned earlier, McAllister is on penalties as well, and he seems to be playing with a lot of confidence. Even if he is not in the number 10 role, he is always roaming, and he definitely could score in any of the remaining double game weeks that he has got. So that's how the team is expected to line up. The tricky aspect of this team is you've got a very good bench, so this team could potentially see Grealish and Shaw being benched, and both of those fixtures they could do quite well. However, you would want to play all of your attackers in midfield as well as up front, with Grealish potentially having a lower ceiling. Moving to Game Week 37, the transfer plan for Game Week 37 with the team on the left, plan number 1 is to transfer out Mo Salah and transfer in Bruno Fernandes. That might seem a bit of an odd move. However, the reason for that is that Mo Salah has got a tougher fixture against Aston Villa that has been very resilient defensively this season with Unai Emery, and Bruno Fernandes has a double game week with potentially both winnable fixtures against Bournemouth and Chelsea. While you would expect Mo Salah to get some points against Aston Villa, you've got to chase the player with the more optimal EV, and the expected value in terms of points that Bruno Fernandes is likely to get from Game Week 37 is likely to be higher. We will potentially reverse that move when we get to Game Week 38. Looking at plan number 2, the option here is to go for the very high upside for a double game week player, and that would be to transfer out Isak for Joao Felix and to transfer in Wilson for Kai Havertz. So you will notice that at this stage, at the time of recording, this is 0.1 million short in the bank. However, Kai Havertz at the time of recording was around 97% price reduction, which appears to be very likely, and by the time that Game Week 37 comes around, we expect his price to have dropped. So we believe that we would be able to make this move. If you're looking at this option, it's a very high risk, high reward option. The two main reasons why this is quite high risk is you'll note that Kai Havertz and Chelsea are playing Manchester City and Manchester United, and both matches are away from home. So you possibly wouldn't expect a massive haul. However, the Chelsea team that we know from the past, and if they do click, especially their strikers, then on their day they could smash it. This is an opportunity to go for 11 double game week players for a -4. Moving on to game week 38. So game week 38, the plan is quite simply to transfer out Bruno Fernandes and transfer Mo Salah back in. The reason for that is Bruno Fernandes plays Fulham, whereas Mo Salah plays Southampton. So you would expect Mo Salah to possibly have a higher return in that match, and also you wouldn't want to miss on any potential hauls, and you think he's got a higher haul potential. In plan number 2, the transfer here is to transfer out Kai Havertz and transfer in Antonio from West Ham. West Ham, who have seemed to be hitting higher gears recently and been very attacking, and Antonio would be playing against Leicester, who have been very leaky in defense, and he has been quite nailed on with Skamaka that's been injured. So you would expect him to start, and there is a good opportunity for him to potentially rack up a goal or two. So that is plan number 1 versus plan number 2. This is the attacking option where you've got double Newcastle attack. Let's move to plan option number 3 versus plan option number 4. And if we go to game week 36 to start off with, next we've got plan option number 3 on the left hand side versus plan option number 4 on the right hand side. So starting off with game week 36, this plan involves keeping double Newcastle defense that we currently have, being Trippier and Botman, and making modifications to the team elsewhere. So we've got 2 free transfers, and how we expect to utilize them is, firstly, if March is injured then and not likely to be available, then the sideways move would be March to McAllister. However, we don't have any funds in the bank and we require 0.3 million to upgrade from March to McAllister, so we need to downgrade elsewhere. And why not, in doing the downgrade, going for a double game week player? So this move involves transferring out Ollie Watkins and transferring in Anthony Martial, who's got a double game week in game week 37. So that is game week 36, plan number 3. Plan number 4, that would mean taking out March, putting in McAllister and funding it with Watkins downgraded to Wild Felix. Wild Felix plays against Nottingham Forest home, and that could be an opportunity for the Chelsea attackers to hit the form that they've been looking for. So that could be quite a decent punt. If it pays off, it could be massive. Moving on to game week 37. So game week 37, the transfers planned for plan number 1 is nothing. We plan to roll the transfer and we show you why. So this would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double game weekers together with Mo Salah and Trippier. So those are quite good single game weekers to have. They cover basically double game week player potential. And then if you look at plan number 4, the plan here is to transfer Salah out and transfer Fernandes in, similar to the previous plan that we had for plan number 1. And the reason for that is Bruno Fernandes has got a double game week, and we plan to bring Mo Salah back in the next game. So this plan will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double game weekers, and that would also be at no cost. Moving on to the next game week. So game week 38, the plan with game week 38 in plan number 3 on the left hand side is to transfer out McAllister and transfer in Martinelli. The second transfer is to transfer out Grealish and transfer in Odegaard. So if you look at this team on the left hand side, we are trying to utilize our 2 free transfers, and hence why the double Arsenal. This could be quite a differential. Not many FPL managers will have the luxury to have 2 Arsenal players, especially if they attack the previous doubles. So this could be quite a good strategy, and Arsenal would want to end off the season on a bang, and playing at home against Wolves, who conceded quite a few goals earlier in the season, could be quite an appetizing fixture. So as you can see, this team on paper looks actually quite good, and utilizes the double Arsenal as a differential. If you're looking at the team on the right hand side, the plan here is to transfer out Fernandes and transfer Mo Salah back in, as he's got Southampton away, and then to transfer out João Felix and transfer in Antonio, and that is mainly in order to fund that move. We are unfortunately 0.1 million short. So that's the plan for game week 36 to game week 38 at this stage. We've got plan 1 and plan 2, which includes double Newcastle attackers, and then plan 3 and plan 4 has got double Newcastle defense. Please comment down below which of the plans do you prefer, plan 1, 2, 3 or 4. We move on to our game week 36 team plan. Our game week 36 plan number 1 involves having 2 Newcastle strikers. Out goes Ollie Watkins and in comes Caleb Wilson. In order to be able to field 3 Newcastle players, we need to take out one of our current 3, and out goes Sven Botman and in comes Patterson from Everton. And this will be utilizing our current 2 free transfers, leaving 0.9 million in the bank. If you notice, you'll see that Newcastle have got a double game week coming up in game week 36, and looking at Patterson, he has got 2 reasonable fixtures after game week 36 to finish off the season. He might not be starting in our team, but he gives you that opportunity. Game week 36 plan number 2 involves taking out Ollie Watkins and either including João Felix from Chelsea or Anthony Martial from Manchester United. The reason for that is both Chelsea and Manchester United have got a double game week coming up in game week 37, so you would need to use your free transfer. If you've got 2 free transfers, at least 1, as you cannot roll 2 free transfers, so this would be a future opportunity that you are looking at. If you look at bringing in Wow Felix, that will leave exactly 0.3 million in the bank, which will be just about enough if the move for Solly March to McAllister is also required. If the move is for Anthony Martial, this will leave more than enough with 1.1 million in the bank. So the alternative and the additional step that we could also follow if there is news on Solly March that is definitely ruled out, which at this stage appears very likely given his hamstring injury, we would be transferring out Solly March and transferring in McAllister, and that, depending on which plan we follow, this would be in addition to plan 1 or plan 2 that we covered earlier. If it is plan 1 that we are initiating, then that would be for a -4. If it is plan 2, then it would be utilizing the second additional free transfer. This is how the current GW36 team is expected to line up. In goal, we've got Edison from Manchester City. In defense, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool, as well as Perverse Eustepinian from Brighton, together with Kieran Trippier from Newcastle. Our midfielders are Marcus Rashford from Manchester United, Mo Salah from Liverpool, McAllister and Matoma from Brighton. Our strike force is Erling Haaland from Manchester City, Callum Wilson and Alexander Isak from Newcastle. On the bench, we've got Raya, Grealish, Shaw and Patterson. The current captaincy armband is on Callum Wilson, with the vice captaincy on Alexander Isak. This could also be switched around depending on team news. Whoever starts, we are likely to put the captaincy armband on them. If both of them start, then Callum Wilson being on penalties could possibly just nudge him ahead of Alexander Isak. Other viable captaincy options are the Brighton midfielders McAllister and Matoma, or March if he does play. However, please note that Brighton play both their double game week matches away from home, and they are relatively tough fixtures against Arsenal and Newcastle. If you are looking for a punty differential, then Kieran Trippier, who's also got a double game week, could be an option. The one other change that we could make to the team is potentially benching Rashford and starting Grealish against Everton. However, we are currently favouring starting Marcus Rashford. The answer to the FPL Trivia question that we asked earlier. The question that we had was, which player has played the most minutes from game week 1 until game week 35? The three options were option A, David De Gea, option B, Harry Kane, option C, Max Tillman. Did you get this answer correct? Please comment down below. The answer to today's question is Max Tillman from Wolves has played a cumulative 3,150 minutes compared to Harry Kane that's played 3,136, followed by David De Gea with 3,060. That's it for this game week video. We hope you found it useful and interesting to help you with your strategy going forward. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe, and also remember to follow team news. Wishing you all the best for game week 36. Hope you smash those green arrows. Until next time, cheerio.